Make sure the volume is turned up and this is okay. I was having some audio issues. Sorry, people have been telling me that there's been issues with the audio. Like there's been glitching. I've listened to the readings where that was documented, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know if it was something to do with the power cord that I had plugged in while I was recording. It was a supercharger, meaning it charges in like an hour. So maybe that was what was causing the glitches. So I've removed the power cord. So hopefully there won't be any glitches in this reading. But if there is, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to figure out what else it could be. What else it could be. Um, I have a new phone. I don't know, but let's get to it. So this is gonna be a general reading. For you guys who are familiar with the channel, I've made some changes. Make sure you take a look at the video I posted that says major changes. There's a thumbnail of a picture of some coins, major change. But take a look at that, and it's like a 4-minute video. It's not long. It's just gonna tell you the changes. Basically, this channel is gonna be astrology reads. Some are going to be with tarot cards, some are not, but it's going to be based on astrology placements. If you want just regular traditional tarot readings that I do, I have another channel. It's called Mini Styles. If you look at the description box below, you will see the link to Mini Styles. I'm going to be doing the God and Goddesses readings over there. I'm going to be doing the True Intentions readings over there. And I'm going to be doing the Silent Enemies readings over there. So if you like those readings, because you're familiar with the channel, make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. But I decided to divide it up because I know some people don't like astrology, or they're just not into it, or just is not for them. And I respect that. So, I want to make you guys, happy. And so I decided to do 2 channels. So after this monthly reading I'm doing here, I'm going to do Jupiter in retrograde, Aries in retrograde, right? And then later on in the month, I'm going to do Uranus in retrograde, because Uranus is going in retrograde at the end of the month. So just to give you a little bit of heads up of what's going on this channel for the rest of the month. All right. So this is the first time I'm doing this reading on this channel, but I'm going to be doing this monthly. So, positive feedback is encouraged, but this is the way it's going to be going moving forward. I drew a little chart that I'm going to be looking at as far as my notes. All right. So let's get into it for you, Aquarius. So, in your first house, you have Saturn, right? Saturn is your what do they want to call it? Your ancient ruler, right? What currently rules you is Uranus, but Saturn is your ancient ruler. I don't understand why Saturn would be your ancient ruler when Uranus gave birth to Saturn. But at any rate, that mythology wise, Uranus is Saturn's father, and Saturn ended up uh, never mind. I won't get too deep into it. But at any rate, Saturn's in your first house. Okay. And so it's retrograde. We got a lot of planets in retrograde. So as a collective, we're in reflection mode. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 planets and then 1 asteroid, which is Chiron, that are all going to be in retrograde by the end of this month. So a lot of reflective energy. When planets are in retrograde, you want to reflect within and look at how these energies are affecting you within. When planets are going direct, you want to look at that energy as an energy that's coming towards you, or energy that you're pushing out to the collective. So with Saturn in retrograde, this is a reflective energy. So when we look at the reflective energies, for me, the easiest way to look and reflect on it is to, look at the questions: who, what, when, where, how, and why, right? So Saturn's in your first house. Your first house is who you are to the collect, like who you present yourself to be to the collective. When you step out of your house and you go about doing what you do, when people notice you, how you communicate, how you connect with others, the way you go about doing your thing. That's your first house energy. That's the house that tells people, okay, can I respect this person? Should I, how should I communicate with this person? Can I just walk up on them and smack them upside the head, or you know what I'm saying? Can I walk up to this person and show them some do I need to walk up to them and show them some respect? How do they stand their ground with people? How do they conduct themselves? How do they let the world know, hey, I'm here, this is my space, this is who I am, and you need to respect that as such. Now, in this house, you have Saturn in retrograde. Saturn is a planet of restrictions. It's a planet of time, timing, limited time, letting you know when something is up, when you can do it, when you can't. It's also a planet of rules and regulation, right? So when it's in retrograde, we're questioning who, what, when, where, why in reference to timing being up, rules and restrictions being put in place. And so it's going to come out when you restrict yourself and you question yourself about the restrictions you're putting in place. It's going to come out in a very Aquarian way. And when I mean Aquarian way, I mean as in it's all about forward movement. It's all about not being attached to things, letting things go, knowing when something is done, and moving forward. So when we're talking about your first house, we're talking about how people perceive you, how they look at you. So you could be looking at the fact that, there could be people saying to you, hey, you know, you could be you could be a bit distant or a bit cold because you don't take things too personally, or because you're easily able to detach from situations that you see are not going to allow you to move forward. And so people may have an issue with that. So you may have people coming towards you, wondering why you don't care, wondering why you're not paying attention to them, wondering why you're not showing any interest when you just truly don't have interest in a situation. Or you could be in a position where you're questioning yourself. Why am I putting energy and effort into this? Does this make sense? Is this something that's going to benefit me in the long term? Also, a lot of you could be questioning your friendships, the people that you connect with. Have you outgrown these connections? Have you outgrown these relationships? Are these people in your life for the long haul, or are they just there for a season? So some of you could be going through those changes as well in reference to the people that you deal with on a regular basis, and these people and how they approach you. It could also be you in an energy of, I don't appreciate or respect how this person comes at me. So as a result, I'm just going to detach away from them. I'm not going to contact them no more. I'm not accepting their calls. I'm not communicating with them no more. I don't have time for it, right? I'm going to find like-minded individuals. Is it time for me to move on and meet other people and connect with other people who are evenly yoked with me? People that I don't have to worry about clinging to me. People I don't have to worry about trying to, that don't respect your space. They don't respect your time. They don't respect the fact that, you got to be you. So I feel like you're going to be rebelling against people who are trying to restrict you from moving forward in your personal growth and any endeavors that you participate in. So that's just a general overview with the first house. But your second house has to do with your self-esteem, your self-value, your self-worth. Also has to do with your money-making potential, money-making opportunities. Your self-esteem is directly linked to money. So the higher your self-esteem, the more money you make. I don't know what's going on in the background. Lord have mercy. But at any rate, hopefully you can still hear me. But your second house is ruled by Pisces, right? So Neptune is there in retrograde in Pisces. So as a collective, we're all dealing with this in some area of our chart. For you, it's your second house, right? So with Neptune is a planet of your highest spiritual energy. And I also believe that because it's dealing with the highest spiritual form in you, it also deals with the darkest part of you as well. Like the God-like energy in you. And the opposite of the God-like energy is the demon-like energy in you. So we're all dealing with that right now with Neptune in retrograde. So now we're looking at, with Neptune in retrograde, we're taking the glasses off, the rose-colored glasses off. I did a Neptune in retrograde reading for you, so check that out if you didn't see it. But that dealt with you specifically where it's at in your chart, and it goes into detail. So I won't tap too much into that, but you're taking off the rose-colored glasses in reference to what's important to you, what's valuable to you, loyalty. Who's loyal to you, who's not. Um, these people that are in your life, are they there, for a purpose, and what their purpose is? Have they been trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or have they been pulling the wool over your eyes in reference to the purpose in your life? This is also about money making. You may be looking at different ways to make money, and you may be realizing that, okay, there could be people around you who might just be around you just for the financial benefit, the financial gain. But you could be also looking at your money in a sense where I could be trying to invest in something. Is this investment bringing me what I want to bring it? Or are there some hidden agendas in reference to this investment where it's not benefiting me the way I thought it would? Okay. But again, a lot of loyalty, questioning people's loyalty, or people could be questioning yours, wondering if people are truly who they say they are, and they're not hiding anything, and they're not there for hidden agendas, So I feel some of you may be, dealing with that, right? Are you really around me because I make money? Are you really around me for my money? Are you just dealing with me to take money from me? Are you truly loyal? Are you somebody that I can have a real connection with, no matter what that connection is? So some of you may be dealing with that this month. Now, when we get to your third house, that has to do with the way you express yourself, your ideas, the type of lifestyle you like to live, everything from where you live to what you like to do when you go out, the types of connections and communications that you have with people. It could also do with, where you grew up as a child. We got two planets there in retrograde. Well, one planet and one asteroid. So that's Jupiter in retrograde and Chiron in retrograde. And I'm going to do a separate reading for you guys on that, strictly dealing with that in your third house. So stay tuned for that. But with Jupiter, Jupiter is the planet of growth. If we talk about Saturn is the planet of constriction and restriction, Jupiter is just the opposite. It's the planet of growth and expansion. It's one of the largest planets. And when it's in retrograde, we're looking at, okay, was something, because Jupiter deals with risk taking, it also deals with your spiritual journey. The journey you go on to obtain wisdom and to obtain the spiritual knowledge you need. But it's in retrograde, so you could be questioning these things. You could be questioning, should you have taken a risk? If you did, what was the result of it? If you didn't, why didn't you? Are you regretting taking the risk? Are you regretting that you didn't take a risk? When it comes to your lifestyle choices, your lifestyle changes, that's going to come out in a very Aryan way. So for some of you, you may be considering, maybe I need to chill and not be around so many people. Maybe I need to be a little bit more restrictive of the type of people that I have in my environment. Maybe these people are not meant for me. Maybe I don't mind having friends, but I also need my personal time as well. I also need my private space. And the people that I connect with, they need to understand that, and they can't be too clingy, type of thing. Also, Chiron is in retrograde here, and Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron, basically, in a nutshell, teaches us that we all have some wounds that we have to live with for the rest of our days. We may have moved past the situation and moved on, but the wounds, they still remain. And we have to learn how to live with those wounds and still go out and about and do what it is that we were brought here to do. And so with Chiron in retrograde, we're looking at those wounds like, damn, what did I learn from this? How do I move forward with these wounds, regardless to the fact that, it still bothers me. This happened to me, but yet I got to move on. How do I move on where I'm not holding grudges, where I'm not holding animosity? I'm not, holding self-hatred and pain, or, beating myself up because of the mistakes that I made. How do I turn this into something that I can benefit from so that I can continue to move on with life, right? And not be depressed or miserable because I got these scars that I got to live with. We all got to do it. So with Chiron in retrograde in Aries, this is what we're all looking at. Now, your fourth house has to deal with your family, right? Your bloodline, things passed down from generation to generation. It also has to do with the nurturing figure that you, or the nurturing energy you may have experienced or may not have experienced in your childhood. And it also deals with the way you nurture yourself as an adult, your emotions, your feelings, how you deal with that, and the people closest to you, and how they connect with you on a nurturing, emotional way. In that house, that's where the North Node is. So the North Node's in Taurus. So we got Uranus there as well, which is your ruling planet, and we got Mars there. Now Uranus is going in retrograde at the end of the month. So I'm going to do a separate reading for you with the Uranus retrograde, but I'll just touch on it briefly. So, your ruling planet, that's all about surprise. It's all about rebellion. It's all about being unique and being individually you and not worrying about what other people feel or care about it. When Uranus is in retrograde, we're looking at, okay, if there was a surprise element to a situation, how did this happen? Who, what, when, where, why? Why did it happen? How did it happen? Who did it happen to, or who was the surprise element in your life? Where did it happen? What happened? As far as, okay, now that the surprise happened, the element of surprise, it could have been good or bad. What are the ramifications of it? It's like the aftermath of it. What's to come now that this has happened, right? So did you rebel against a family member? Because this is in your fourth house. Did you rebel against emotional connections? And if you did, do you regret it? Did someone try to emotionally manipulate you and you rebelled against it? And if so, did you, are you happy that you rebelled against it? Are you happy you found it out? Um, do you regret it? On the opposite polarity of things too, maybe somebody rebelled against you because they may have felt that you're not emotionally available. And so maybe you're juggling with that. Maybe someone wants you to connect more emotionally, and maybe you're just not feeling it with them. All right. It could be a lover, doesn't necessarily have to be, but it could be friends, but mostly family. It could be also, with Mars here in the fourth house, there could be things going on with the family. There could be tension going on with a mother figure, or maybe you as a mother figure, maybe going through some tensions with your children, or you as a child could be going through some tensions with your mom. Maybe it's just that, the energies right now where you guys might be at each other's necks, so to speak. Um, or this could be, something that's been going on for a while and now it's just, it's coming to a head. It doesn't mean that it always happened and it always was going on, but for some of you that could be the case. But it could just also be that, your family doesn't get along, and tensions are heightened right now of all the things that you feel like, what, I'm rebelling against that, I'm not accepting that, I don't care. Maybe you are like the black sheep of the family right now and people are having problems with you in reference to the lifestyle you want to live and the things that you want to do, and you got family members who, may be looking at you like that could be an issue. You could also have come from a family of rebellious individuals, people who are just unique in their own way. Maybe there's not a lot of closeness with your family, and because of that, there could be a lot of tension between you and some of your family members. So, this could affect you in different ways. Doesn't necessarily have to be what I'm saying, but, it could be that these things occur, okay? But you're trying to resolve this. You're trying to come at this in a very Taurian way. So you're trying to make sure that whatever it is that happens, you get peace. You're at peace with whatever it is that you need to do. And I feel like with Mars there, you're gonna fight for that, because wherever Mars is gonna go to war. So you may be, fighting with family members, rebelling against family members, going against the grain. Maybe your family members are known to do this, or this is something that happens, it's been passed down from generation to generation, and you're like, that's stupid, I don't agree with that, it doesn't make sense, it's not right, so I'm rebelling against it, something like that. And keep in mind, if you're in the United States, you got a lot of family reunions going on right now, so there could be tension with family members if you connect with them or if you're connecting with them. But try to be cool about it, because again, wherever Mars is, there's war energy there, there's protective energy there, there's defensive energy there, right? And it can heighten and enhance things very quickly, like 0 to 100 type of energy. But Mars is actually going to be moving into your fifth house in Gemini on the 20th of this month. So your fifth house has to do with the house of fun, the things you like to do for fun. It also it's your creative center, where your creativity lies. It has to do with the childlike energy in you. It has to do with children, period. So, maybe some of you may be, with that Mars energy, towards the end of the month, there could be some heightened tension in reference to dealing with your children in some way, shape, or form. It could be along the lines of what they like to do for fun. You guys could be at odds as far as what you want them to do versus what they want to do for fun, as far as the lifestyle choices they may choose or the friends they may hang out with. Or this could just be about you and what you like to do for fun and what you like to do as far as your lifestyle choices, the way you express yourself. You may be fighting for those beliefs, whatever it is that you truly want, and you could be around people who could be trying to steal your joy. So just be careful, keep that in mind. But again, with Mars energy, you want to try to de-escalate situations as much as possible, but at the same time, don't allow people to steal your joy. Now, we're also dealing with situationships, one night stands, and love affairs in the fifth house. So these are, relationships that you have with people, intimate relationships where they don't last long. It could be for these people come into your life for a season. So some of you, this could be what you're dealing with. You could be in a connection with someone and maybe they don't want a relationship and maybe you do. Or it could be vice versa. Maybe you don't want anything serious and this person don't want to go nowhere. So you literally got to fight with this person to get them away from you so that you can, live your life and be you. Maybe you're not ready to be single right now and you're running into people who want to be. Or maybe you want to be in a relationship right now and you run into people who don't want to be. It could be any of those combinations. But also, this house deals with the things that you like to do for fun. So maybe some of you may find that to relax and relieve stress, maybe you want to get into martial arts, or maybe wrestling, or maybe that's something your kids want to partake in. Your kid may come home and tell you they want to sign up for the wrestling team, or they want to do fencing or some type of martial arts, or maybe that's something that your child um, it might be beneficial for your child to get into. Maybe some of you are considering that. So that's just some of the things. It doesn't have to be any exactly of those things, but it could be some of the things you might be thinking about um, this month. Your sixth house is where Cancer is. You don't have any planets there, so there's no major real effect there right now. But moving on to your seventh house, we got Leo energy. It's Leo season right now. That's where Leo is for you, right? We got the new moon in Leo and the Lion Gate portal on the 8th of August. That's major, major energy. So for those of you who are familiar with the Lions Gate portal, you know what you need to do. You need to manifest, channel this energy, do what you can with it. For others of you, in a nutshell, a quick and dirty version of it is there's a planetary body called Sirius. It's much more brighter and larger than the sun. A lot of people think the sun is the largest, brightest uh, planetary body in the sky. Actually, it's a star, but it's not. Sirius is much larger, much brighter, much bigger than the sun. And we're able to see Sirius um, in an angle that aligns with the sun and the earth. And when they're aligned in this particular way, it opens up a portal, a spiritual gateway to the higher realms, where you're able to tap in. Because it's Leo, you're able to tap into this creative energy, because Leo is your creative life source. So you're able to tap into this energy, and it's extra potent. So you're able to use it to manifest whatever it is that you want, especially related to your creativity and what makes you uniquely you. So that's just a general, in a nutshell, of what that's about. But these energies are very important. We experience it every year in Leo season. So do a little research on it to find out more about it and find out how it could benefit you. It's going to be in your seventh house. This is the house of your partnerships of all kinds. Your family relationships, your friendship relationships, your intimate lover relationships, your business partnerships, all types of relationships. Okay? So there's going to be some energy here where, with the Leo energy, that's all about the ego, the self. Okay? So some of you may be coming off as a bit selfish in your connections. And you may be saying, you know what? I need my space. I want to be me. I want to do what I want. I don't care about anybody else. Or it could be people directing that energy on you. People may be having an issue with the fact that other people really like you. Other people are drawn to you, because that Leo energy draws people to you, right? It draws people to pay attention to you. So with that new moon in Leo and that Lionsgate portal energy, you may be the light may be shining on you in every aspect of your life, every type of relationship that you have. So that's a positive thing. So take advantage of that energy and use it to benefit you in your relationships, to heighten the relationships that you want, and to disconnect from the relationships you don't want. But Leo will be shining the sun on all of that. So your relationships may be people may be paying more attention to who you're around, what you're doing, and who you're doing it with, more so than they ever have before. And even you may be paying more attention to who you're associating with and why, and what benefit you get out of it, right? So there could be a lot of creative projects that come out of this as far as collaborative energies. So make sure you pay attention to the people that are being drawn to you and the people that you're drawn to, and see what you two can do, or what you people can do collectively. All right. Now with your eighth house, that's all about your psyche. That's all about the soul ties that you have with people, and the dynamics in the relationships in which these soul ties are established, and how they exist. Now we got Mercury and Virgo there. So you're really going to be thinking about this. With Mercury energy, it's all about your communication, how you communicate with these people that you have soul ties with. It could be people that you have sexual soul ties with, or people that you've tied to in reference to money. But anybody that you have to have a connection with, there's a dynamic there. There's a relationship dynamic. And this is what the eighth house deals with. The power struggles between you two. Human nature wise, There has to be a level of mutual respect for you both to get along. There has to be compromise. And with the eighth house, we look at the level of compromise between you and these people that you have these ties with. Are they overpowering you? Are you overpowering them? And what do you guys do to keep the power balanced between you, right? So with Mercury there, this is all about the processing of information, right? How do you look at things? How do you see things? What's your perspective on it? Why do you look at it that way? Right? And that's going to come out in a very Virgoian way. You're going to be very analytical. You're going to be breaking things down, looking at things in a very microscopic way with a microscopic lens. So you're going to be analyzing these people that you have these connections with, really looking at their motives, their intentions, how they're communicating with you, why you are dealing with them, and if this is something that you need to change up, because you know the eighth house energy is all about um, transformation. So are these relationships changing for the better for you, or are they or do you need to go in and make some type of change so that it's balancing out the scale, so that you're getting your just due in these connections? And if you're not, you want to look at the psychological reasons why do you let these people overpower you, or why are you able to overpower these people, or why is it that there is no one overpowering anybody in these relationships? They're both evenly keeled. You get what you want, they get what they want. There's a mutual respect there. Why is that? Right? So you're going to be evaluating these connections. Now, your ninth house is where Libra is, but we don't have any major planets there, so we won't tap into that right now. Scorpio is where your 10th house is. Now, we just talked about the 8th house energy, but Scorpio is in your 10th house, and that's where the South Node is. So, with the Scorpio energy is the collective being the South Node. The South Node is energies that you've mastered in a past life, right? And so now in this life, you're supposed to take the lessons you've learned from that. And the past life could literally be the life before this one, or it could be your childhood. Your childhood is also a form of your past life. All right. So you're taking the energies that you mastered in your past life and you're using them to go towards the North Node energy, right? Because the North Node energy is an energy that you're not familiar with. This is an energy that you need to master in this lifetime. So the North Node is in Taurus. So Taurus deals with peaceful energies. It deals with self-indulgence. It deals with luxury, financial stability, the finer things in life. And so Scorpio can sometimes deal with the toxicity of life. And really, Scorpio is only toxic because of the fact that you don't accept that in this area of life, there's going to be constant change. If you understand the Scorpio house in your chart, or where Scorpio is, and know that in that area of life, there's going to be constant change, it doesn't make the change easier, but at least you know what to expect so that you can prepare yourself and you don't fight it. And when you fight it, that's what causes the toxic energy, right? So you got Scorpio in your 10th house. So this is the house of career for you. Financial, I'm sorry, not financial, but your career endeavors, which could lead to financial stability, right? So your career endeavors, your professional achievement. So for a lot of you, you may go through a lot of changes in reference to jobs. You may go through a lot of changes in reference to how you make money. You may go through a lot of changes in reference to how you see yourself in your professional endeavors and your career development. Okay, this house also deals with yourself, your the way you see yourself and the way the public sees you. So the way the public sees you, they could see you as somebody who's constantly going through changes, constantly metamorphing, because that's what the Scorpio energy does. It dies and it's reborn in a different way. So they may see you as somebody who's constantly changing, right? You may be a doctor, for 10 years, and now you also wear the hat of a lawyer, or you also wear the hat of a politician, right? So maybe you go through different career changes, or maybe there's different things that you're interested in and you use them to make money, right? So you take the tools that you've learned from these, experiences, and you use them to go towards Taurus to make money, right? To be financially comfortable, financially stable. So, the North Node in Taurus is in your 4th house. So this is to provide for you your private life, your home. So maybe you take the things that you've learned and you buy yourself a nice home, or you move someplace where you're comfortable, where it's peaceful, right? Maybe your work life is very hectic and you do a lot of you know there could be a lot of changes. It doesn't mean that you change careers necessarily. It could just be that there is a lot of danger and uncertainty in what you do. For example, a Scorpio occupation could be like people working underground mining. Maybe, somebody's a miner. That's a very difficult, challenging job to do. And so you do that because there's a lot of money in mining because it's a very dangerous job. And so what you do is you take that money and you use it to move towards your Taurus North Node energy, which is to provide a life of comfort, a life of peace for your children and maybe, for generations to come. Just a general example of how you would use the Scorpio South Node, Taurus North Node energy for you. All right. But let's move on. So in your 11th house, we got Sagittarius. There's no major planets there, so we won't really talk about that much. But your 12th house, that's the house of your subconscious, unconscious energies. These are energies that you give out that you don't realize you're giving out. 90% of the energy that you give out to the collective and that the collective reads from you comes from the 12th house. This is why it's really important that we try to understand our 12th house energy and what's going on there so that we are cognizant of the energies and the vibrations that we're throwing out into the universe. Sometimes you don't know why people are attracted to you or why they come to you. It's that subconscious or unconscious energy that you're throwing out, right? So with you in your 12th house, you got Pluto there, right? You got Pluto in retrograde. So we were just talking about scorpionic energies in your 8th and your 10th house. So here we go. Your 8th, your 10th, and your 12th house are dealing with regenerative energies of Scorpio, right? Death and rebirth, power struggles between you and whomever you're connecting with, or power struggles within your internal being in reference to you maturing and growing and leaving things behind that no longer serve you and accepting that. And again, with your Scorpio houses and your Scorpio placements, the key to understanding is that wherever Scorpio is or where their 8th house is in your chart, you're always going to be experiencing changes, growth, metamorphosis. And as long as you understand that, maybe you won't fight those changes as much because you know, okay, this is where I got Scorpio at. So it's always going to be some changes in this area of my life. So I need to expect that. So how do I plan around that? How do I prepare for that so it doesn't cause as much aggravation and stress in my world and I don't fight it causing more toxicity in my life because the change is going to come regardless whether I like it or not, right? So with your 12th house here and Pluto in retrograde, Pluto's a planet of power struggle between you and someone else or between you and your growth process. Now, when it's in retrograde, you're looking at, okay, is there a change that needs to happen here? If it is, why am I fighting it? Who's causing it? What's causing it? When is it going to happen? Where is it happening? And why, right? So always, to me, the easiest way to look at planets in retrograde is who, what, when, where, why. So in your house of the subconscious and the unconscious, you are going through some changes. So I feel like you're clearing out some karmic cycles, right? Because Pluto's in retrograde. Whenever Pluto's in retrograde, it goes back to the past a bit to look at what happened in the past so that you can learn from it and move forward. So what's very important for you, Aquarius, is to pay attention to your dreams because this is where this area of life or these situations are going to occur. Right? You're going to be getting all kinds of downloads. I bet your dreams are probably crazy right now. You probably have all sorts of dreams that are not making sense. They could be a little bit more vivid than they have been for you. Try to write things down if you can. If you don't remember anything more, I tell people all the time, if you don't remember anything but the fact that you were very cold, write that down, right? Last night I dreamed I was very cold. And if you want to get more deeper into it, write down what the planetary alignments were. If you're, more well versed and you understand your chart and things like that. And at the end of the month, do it from the new moon to the new moon again. So the new moon in Leo starts on the 8th. I mean, you can write things down now, but you definitely want to pay attention to it from August 8th until the new moon in Virgo, whenever that is. That's sometime in probably September. Right? So write that energy down, write that information down, and then at the end of the moon, the lunar cycle, which is 28 and a half days, review that information you wrote down, meditate on it, and see what you get, okay? So it's going to be coming out in a very Capricornian way. So you may be, as a result of these dreams, you may be feeling like you need to be very, let me rephrase that. because of the fact that the subconscious energies that you're giving out you may not be aware of, you may need to make sure that you're protecting yourself from people who are coming towards you. Because again, you may not understand the energies that you're giving out. You're going through a transformative energy with Pluto in your 12th house. So that means that you're going through changes. So when you go through changes, if you think about the butterfly who goes into the cocoon, it's like subconsciously you're in the cocoon right now. So the butterfly that's in the cocoon transforming is somewhat vulnerable right now. What it's doing is it's shedding old memories of old lessons, and it's trying to clear that energy out so that it can begin anew. So for some of you, your dream state is going to be trying to help you to let go of old things that you may have a resentment to or a hold on that no longer serve you. Ideas, people, attitudes, things like that that you've subconsciously attracted to you. And you need to clear that out of your energy so that you don't continue to subconsciously attract these things to you that hold you up, because now it's time for you to move on. The butterfly can no longer act and behave like a caterpillar. It can no longer do the things a caterpillar does because it is no longer a caterpillar. So for some of you, you are going through a subconscious transformation, and you may not even understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, but your dreams may hold the key to that. So pay attention to that if you can, because that may give you some answers. All right. So with that being said, Aquarius, that concludes your monthly astrology reading. This is going to be, just take what resonates, leave the rest. What I would recommend also is that you come back and check this out at the end of the month, because maybe some of the things that I talked about that don't resonate now, they may resonate a little bit later after you've gone through the month and gone through some things. If you need a personal, my information is in the box below. Again, if you want to tap into the God and Goddesses readings, the True Intentions readings, and the Silent Enemies readings for the month of August, make sure you go to the box below. Look for the channel for the Mini Styles link, because that's the name of the new channel I have. That's where those readings are going to be. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification there and here. That way you'll know when I post for both channels, all right? I love you guys. I want to thank you for your support. I appreciate you coming to check out the video. Let me know if you heard any issues with if you have any issues with the audio. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my phone. It's a new phone. People have been complaining about it. Oh, also check out your other placements, okay? So I'll see you in the next reading. Later, Aquarius.